The mobility economy. There's a whole slew of people that are re entering the workforce, transitioning to other jobs. This includes people that are entering society from, let's say, they were a vet before, or let's say they were, on the other hand, let's say they're coming back from being incarcerated. There's a whole slew of people that are re entering the workforce, transitioning careers. So that's where very targeted practice, very a targeted approach could really help you. And it can help you in blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, and you can use AI to really speed this process up and get hands on practice and simulations to help you land that role. So that's what I'll dive into right now. Alright, guys, so if I'm looking at this, and this is a tool called Nexa, it's basically your workforce development partner in all aspects of career services. You can go in, basically ask it anything, and it'll help you out. So let's say I want to ask, um, I'm transitioning into the workforce. I was a vet, and what are the best roles to go for? Now, Nexa will help you out because it's trained on all the corpus of data with regards to being career services, workforce development, all that. It'll help you out. So, obviously, talks about things such as an assessment of skills, education and training, resume and LinkedIn profile development, networking, that's absolutely massive, interview preparation, as well as for vets, project management, IT, law enforcement, security. These are all very cool sectors to check out, especially if you are in kind of a transition phase. Let's say you are a vet going back to civilian life. These are all huge sectors to really see what you can do. So, especially let's say you want to do law enforcement, security, supply chain, logistics, all big things. So TAP and ACP, these are huge organizations to consider. So yeah, so this isn't one dimensional. It's going to give you a holistic response, and you can use this tool to also upload your resume and basically also say, hey, how can I enhance this? So let me dive in right now. Now, in this part, especially if you're transitioning into the workforce, you're kind of in between jobs, you want to present your profile to employers in the best light. And at Nexa, we work with a bunch of partners, employment partners that specifically can help you and get eyeballs on you for that job. So, skills is one thing, but you also got to have visibility because we don't live in a void. We live in a place with multiple employers, a network of people that are always connecting, checking people out. As you saw earlier, connections is a huge part of this. So you have to be seen by the hiring manager. So Nexa Skill Print helps you with that. So basically, if you fill this out properly, you'll be shown to employers in the best way possible. Now, if you look at your analytics section, especially if you are going to a new job, trying to get economic mobility, you can look at here and basically have a skills gap analysis of everything that you need. Whether that's let's say you are a currently trying to go into supply chain logistics, or trying to get a customer service role, or even a tech role. It's all here. It'll show you, hey, these are the kinds of things I need to look into right now. These are the kinds of things I should avoid. Maybe I should do networking groups. These are the kinds of groups I should look for on LinkedIn. So it's very, very personalized to your situation. So now I'm going to dive into a specific kind of AI practice that you can use to get you really sharp and up to speed with the actual interview. So yeah, let's dive in. So as you basically go back into the workforce, one thing you really have to do is make sure your resume is up to par. Because if it's not, you're not even gonna get the interview. So basically, people have one resume and they shotgun it to 100 different people. That's not how it works. You gotta customize it for the role and the job employer. So here you can basically tag it with the target company name and the job role. If you tag it in both ways, you'll have a very extreme clarity and tremendous clarity on, hey, this is the one I can use in this situation, this is the one I can use in that situation. So it's very, very clear for you. So in this tool, you can basically go in and basically upload, enhance it with AI. You can also get a bunch of feedback, which is awesome. You can always get ATS level feedback. So that will make sure you actually pass that initial screening, which is really important because they're going to use AI screening on you. So you might as well use AI screening, AI enhancement to be up to par with that. So in this situation, you can basically go in and basically design that resume, enhance it with AI, and add in all the kinds of stuff that you need to add. All right, now that that's clear, we can basically go in and practice. Now, a really big industry that it helps with economic mobility when people are trying to get back on their feet is the customer service industry. It's really big, especially if you look at a state like Nevada. A lot of people are in that industry there. So you can see this with the popularity of policies from Trump, such as no tax on tips. So that's a huge industry. So if you go here, you have all kinds of roles you can use AI in practice for: guest service agent, call center representative, complaints resolution specialist, concierge, customer experience agent, customer service manager, customer service rep, live agent, and retail associate. These are all critical roles in a big industry that helps a lot of people. A lot of people need this industry to really, really help them get that experience, even if they're trying to get a different job. So, all right, guys, let's do customer service representative since that's a popular role for a lot of people in the that are transitioning to a different kind of job or trying to go for economic mobility. So let's do custom kind of round. Let's do 3 background questions and let's dive in. Let's use a timer because that simulates real life. Let's go. Oh, it's okay. So I will do 5 questions in total. So let's get it going.
Hi, let's practice an interview for Customer Service Representative, CSR. What is your process for following up with customers after resolving a technical issue?
So my process with following up with customers is basically sending them a message, sending them kind of a form or something to make sure that I'm thinking about their feedback. So feedback intake mechanism is the key part of this. So and obviously feedback's important because if let's I can say for future, hey, did I resolve this technical issue in the right way? Did I not? So yep.
How would you handle a situation where a customer's payment did not go through?
I would figure out exactly what happened. Was it a credit card issue? Was it kind of like a issue with the provider, like Stripe, or not? So I would get to the heart of the issue. And if it has to be recharged, I would do that. If the customer has an issue with it, I would basically talk with the customer. I would make sure basically clarity and communication is key here. So yeah, those are a few things that are critical to consider. All right, guys, I'm under 4 minutes. Am I gonna finish this? Let's find out.
Describe a time when you had to deal with a difficult colleague while maintaining professionalism.
So one time we had this colleague that was always interrupting and kind of doing crazy stuff like that. Um, uh, and so basically afterward, basically we were just saying, hey, maybe for the future you could do things in this way, and yeah, and he corrected. So it's basically just being clear and upfront with people, and then things will resolve themselves. So yeah.
Can you provide an example of a time when you had to troubleshoot a customer's technical issue remotely and guide them to a resolution?
Yeah, all the time. So when there's, let's say, a server issue or something like that, basically we do go on Zoom, screen share, and just resolve the issue line by line. If we need to go into a coding issue, anything like that. So there's so many tools out there right now to help debug things remotely. If there's a Wi-Fi issue, it's just a phone call, so not too big of a deal.
What is your approach to handling feedback, both positive and negative?
Lashing out. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. So the approach to handling feedback is basically take it, um, have it inputted, basically have a mechanism where you can review it. Do you need to adjust things? If it's positive, if it's negative, do you have to change things? So yeah, you can always improve. So there's always ways to improve no matter what. So yeah. All right, guys, just finished that quick interview. I'm going to get some feedback, so let's get it going. AI is analyzing my results right now. So imagine if you do this over and over for like even 3 weeks, you'll be so much more prepared, especially if you're getting those interviews after improving your resume and you have that volume of jobs that you're putting in. Volume is critical to get your foot in the door, but once you have your foot in the door, performance is super important. So it's a combination of volume, performance, and a bunch of other factors, connections, as I mentioned earlier. So there's basically a multitude of things that you have to keep working on to be solid in the job market. So it's never one thing here, one thing there. It's a confluence of a bunch of different things that have to mesh almost in a kind of like a beautiful way. So yeah, it's not one dimensional. There's a bunch of things. So, all right, so this generated right here. So it's giving me AI generated feedback on everything that I just did. It analyzed my technical correctness as well as my cadence, my confidence, my tonality, all of that in one unique way. So basically looked at my clarity, my relevance, confidence with my communication skills, and the cool part is it gave me a improved answer. So it's not just saying, "Hey, this is how you did blah 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 on these parameters." It's saying, "How can I improve?" So I would actually study this. If you study this, you'll improve, no question. Like days, you'll improve. So um, yeah, I'm gonna actually review this right now quickly. Okay, so yeah, this is an excellent answer. If I said this, I'd get much higher. So yeah, so definitely food for thought there. So okay, yeah, it's giving some good feedback right now. So um, yeah, definitely have to be more forthright and clear in my communication. According to this, so yeah, it's a good thing to have. Like very much um, ways to improve this kind of stuff. So I definitely will go back and kind of review this. I can download this feedback and I can always access it in my profile. So if I go to analytics, this is super important to consider because um, I can always revisit things. So if I go back here, I can revisit it saying, hey, this is how I did. This is what I need to improve on. So if I go back and really do this often, I'm gonna be a different person in that interview, or not a different person, but I'm gonna be significantly better than if I didn't. So that's critical. So well, that's that. In the next episode of Entering the Workforce, we're gonna actually do a live simulation. So stay tuned for that.